Hello, my name is Tiffany,
Hi, I'm Mari.
and purpose for our conversations is mainly going to be just to keep it real, let out things we probably can't say throughout the week, and have fun, as much fun as possible.
Right. And the topic for this episode today, as you guys know, we all have a mother and we are also mothers, right? So our topic for today is forgiving mothers for being human.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we're human. Sometimes mothers forget that, right?
Right.
Exactly. So that's why I really personally wanted to dive into this topic, because forgiving moms is hard, but then when you're in the mom role,
I feel like
the
that's when
tables
you
turn,
learn,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, that's such a hard thing to do because it's like you did this to me or this happened because of you.
And blaming is
Yes.
the all-time high with when you're a kid or a
Right.
teenager. So this
Right.
is a really deep topic for both of us because we have a lot to say. Happy Mother's Day for all the moms out there.
Yes.
For anybody that is not having anybody to hang out with or chill with, hopefully we could be that person for you.
Right.
So where do you want to start?
How about you start with some of your stats about motherhood?
Okay.
So Tiff is our little nerdy, you know. So she loves it and I love that she is too. So she's gonna give you guys a little bit of stats on just motherhood in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the first stat that I had was from pewresearch.org. This research analysis, they were Catherine Scofer and Carolina Arago. The ones that stuck out to me was really the ones that I can relate to more. And that was the vast majority of mothers find parenting enjoyable and rewarding. So overall, 83% of moms say that being a parent is enjoyable for them most or all the time. 8 in 10 moms say being a parent is rewarding most or all the time, with 37% saying that it's the case all of the time. So the other one is being a parent is a key part of the mom's personal identity, which I thought was very spot on, but then it also brings the controversial conversation of do you want your identity to just be motherhood?
Right.
That's crazy. So in all the vast majority of mothers, 88% say that being a mother is most or one of the most important aspects of who they are. So I guess that makes sense. I would say it's an important aspect.
I wouldn't say it's who I am.
But I wouldn't say it's all of me.
Yeah.
But I guess when we introduce ourselves, how many of us would say yeah, hi, my name is Tiffany and I have 2 kids.
That's true.
That's you making it a part of your identity.
Right. Also, looking at it, depending on what environment you are, right? If you're in your child's school specifically, or in one of their sports, you're I'm so-and-so's mom.
Yeah.
Versus I'm Marielle and TJ is my son.
Yeah.
Those are 2 different things.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is 2 different things, because when you're in a space with your kid, that is your identity, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you're with them and you're
Right.
the mom at that point.
Right.
But if you're not in a space with them, it's just an aspect. And it is an important aspect. I think every mom would probably say, most moms would probably say it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge aspect of that. I don't know if you find that it was hard when you first had your baby, when the babies are small, it does feel like it's just whoosh, all of you.
Yeah.
A big,
It's mother overload.
yeah, it's you can't get out of that identity almost.
No.
But it's because of the caregiving role, the nurturing that is needed at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Down to other people asking you, oh my God, where's so-and-so?
All the time.
We don't need that. I'm hello, I'm here. Hi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if you got those every time. So before calling my mom, I would just be hey mama, how are you? You call your mom now, it's where's the baby?
Right.
Where's
And
this one? Where's this one? What are they doing?
No, for real.
Yeah, or if you call them or you go visit them without them, forget it. It's like, wait, where's my grandbabies?
Right.
So.
Who's staying with them, where they are, like.
Hey, I just came to visit you as a daughter to mom.
Right.
Speaking of the daughter to mom, I did a poll on Instagram.
Okay.
Which was, obviously, I have to put a disclaimer. I don't have a lot of followers. All of my followers are friends and family. I don't accept people that I don't know. So that's intentionally. I don't accept you because I don't know you. So the poll is from a very small percentage of people. So just keep that in mind. But a lot of women answered. And the first question was, have you ever had to ask your kids for forgiveness? And 100% said yes. So
I know I do.
Yeah.
I definitely, my kid is 4, so like asking for forgiveness for certain things are a little different, right? Compared to a teenager or like an adult child.
Absolutely.
But I definitely have to ask him for forgiveness because a lot of how I was parented, right, comes out as a mom. Once the feelings come up and I'm reacting emotionally, that's when it comes out versus me taking a step back and really looking at it like, okay, what is this, what is really going on, right? Because we're humans, we're not perfect, right? And so we do me personally, I do act emotionally versus actually taking a step back and taking myself out of the situation and really looking at the event and how I can approach it.
So what is one thing you would say you really had to ask for forgiveness? I mean, he's 4. So like you said, it's got to be in 4-year-old language, but something maybe that was a little bit tough for you to ask for forgiveness.
So like the most difficult thing was more like he was asking if I can call his dad to come and like be with us for the day or spend time with us. And as much as I care for him and his dad's relationship, and as much as I care for his dad too, right? That's a boundary that I'm not going to cross. So
you have to also teach your kid boundaries.
Right. But because I told him, no, that's not a good idea, he took it in a way where it's like, well, you just hate me, right? And and it was more based off of, I don't hate you, and this is not about you, and I'm sorry that I can't provide this for you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But this is my boundary, right? Like this is our home, you and my home, right? Versus all 3 of us, we don't live together anymore, so we kind of have to continue living our life like this.
Yeah. Wow, mine is similar. Mine is very similar. I guess that part of it is really hard because there's different type of moms, right? There's the single mom, there's the mom that is with the child's dad, and then there's blended families. You're a single mom, I'm in a blended family. So we are going to have similar experiences, but very different because we're all human. And newsflash, guys, we all react differently and stuff. So if you disagree with something, please let us know because I love a debate. I love a good debate.
Yes.
So
and we like to hear different point of views as well. Like,
exactly.
It's not one size fits all. So it's important for us to talk about it.
Exactly. So mine was similar too because I think when me and Emma's dad separated, it was probably, she was like 3, and in those times I just had to kind of like, in those ages, you just put boundaries. You just hope for the best almost. And then when they ask questions, you explain it in certain language that they understand. Now that she's 8, she's like, she does have moments where I have to apologize that she's not growing up in that cookie cutter home of mom and dad are in the home and we are making dinner together, eating dinner together, maybe doing things that she perceives as normal. Because right, if we look at stats in general, I've heard it across the board, it's not even that it's normal to be in your mom and dad in the same home anymore. That's like that's old school. I think it's more traditional.
70% of households don't have a dad in them.
I don't know, but that is crazy if it's true.
Yeah,
like that
so
is
we'll get back to you guys.
And check your facts. Fact check us.
Yes, please.
But in that sense, I just had to like have a conversation. Like, look, I am sorry that you have to go to your dad's house 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and not be with me. So that is hard to forgive myself for, because those days she's not with me, I'm literally missing her. So I am dealing with my own consequences. So I have to feel like, wow, not only am I dealing with my own consequences, but now I have to go in and be very compassionate to how it's affecting her.
Yeah.
So have to apologize for that is not easy. It's actually still emotional to this day. Just every day that she's not with me, I have to like kind of go through that motion of like, this is what it is. This is a difficult thing to acknowledge. So we've had multiple conversations. So I think one thing about forgiveness is that as a mom, I think you should expect to have that forgiving conversation more than once.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, and absolutely, and in different ways.
When it's something that deep. You know? When it's something that continuously affect the family, I feel like you should have that conversation of forgiveness a few times. Yeah, so that's just me. Yeah.
And I can imagine like how much mom guilt that comes.
Exactly.
You know, like, because mom guilt is a thing, guys. Even though it don't matter if you're a mom, you're gonna feel it in many different ways for many different things. And sometimes it's as like little as, oh my God, I didn't buy him that toy he wanted, or you know, these big things, right? Like, I'm sorry you have to be in another home for 3 days. And then in your case, it's like, it's probably a little different because you have 2 kids and one stays home all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one.
Right. So that guilt is huge.
Yeah.
I'm going to therapy for that one. But like, it is big. And as a mom, you, like you were explaining, like, you go through something in your own life and you're so adamant, like, my mom did this to me, I would never do this to my kid, right? And that was one thing that came. Like, I was adamant, like, I don't care if I have to be single for the rest of my life, I'm never going to introduce my kids to a stepfather. I literally said that. I said that before I had the kid.
I remember
during
you
the
saying
kid.
that.
Yeah, I was like, my kid is never going to have a stepfather.
Right.
Then I introduced her to a stepfather. And it's not, like, obviously right away, but, like, you know, fast forward. Right. 6 years, and I'm like, shoot, that wasn't as planned.
Right.
I have to deal with that because now I'm like, what I blamed my mom for, I'm doing. So I have to be really intentional about what are my intentions about this, and is it coming from a good place? And then but I can't realistically navigate my motherhood out of that fear that I had as a child. So that's one thing I refuse to do, is parent out of fear. It just doesn't work for me. So going into that conversation with her about even having to accept a stepfather and having these different dynamics, right? She goes to her dad's house, that's a single dad. Then she comes home, she has a blended family. I just have to be ready for all the pushback, all of the feelings.
Right. Yep. And all of the conversations.
Right.
And if you're not, you know, I think